Elon Musk once said, "The extension of life beyond Earth is the most important thing we can do as a species." Although there is a question of whether or not there is life beyond Earth, there is no question about the fact that it is an important topic to know about and discuss. While some people believe in life on other planets and some do not, the evidence surrounding the topic, both for and against it, is truly fascinating. I would like to share some information about the history of life on other planets. I will talk about the evidence supporting the claim, the evidence refuting the claim, and how it has evolved over the years. No matter what your stance on the topic is, I believe it is important that we are fully aware that there is a possibility of a planet out there with a form of life on it. I have always been fascinated by the subject and have read countless books and articles trying to gather all the information possible. Last year I took an astronomy class, and one of the assignments was doing a big research paper on the possibility of life beyond Earth, and all the information I was able to gather on the matter was truly so interesting. In order to best explain this topic from both perspectives and give everyone the most useful information, I'm going to explain the evidence supporting life on other planets, then I will talk about evidence against it, and lastly I will talk about how the theory has progressed and evolved over the years. Now, let's begin by discussing the evidence in support of life on another planet and how this evidence came to be. The Earth is just one tiny planet in our solar system, which is part of the Milky Way galaxy, which is part of a whole group of galaxies. All these things make up the observable universe, and when you zoom out far enough, Earth is just a tiny speck on the radar. The fact that there are so many planets and galaxies we have yet to discover or explore leads many people to think about how likely it is that someone or something else is out there. NASA has an exoplanet program in place that is responsible for implementing NASA's plans, which are the discovery and understanding of planets surrounding nearby stars. According to Pat Brennan, the writer of NASA's Exoplanet Exploration website, the ultimate goal of NASA's exoplanet program is to find unmistakable signs of current life. The fact that there is an entire program at NASA created solely to finding life on other planets leads me to believe that these scientists know what they're doing, and there's a big possibility that something may be found in the coming decades. Although there has yet to be other living beings found, NASA scientists say that the first step to finding life on other planets is finding habitable conditions for life on other planets. The most important thing there has to be to support a life form is water. NASA's current Curiosity rover has discovered oceans of water beneath the shells of Jupiter's moons Europa and Ganymede. The rover has also discovered other things necessary for life to form to survive, like carbon-containing molecules and fixed nitrogen. The last thing left to find is a species inhabiting one of these planets, or even a planet we have yet to discover. But many scientists at NASA are hopeful. According to NASA Chief Scientist Ellen Stofan, "I think we're going to have a strong indication of life beyond Earth within a decade, and I think we're going to have definite evidence within 20 to 30 years. Now that we've heard some evidence that supports the theory of life beyond Earth, let's hear the evidence against it. The fact that there is such a delicate balance of different things that are all essential for the survival of human life is a big reason why some scientists say that life beyond Earth is impossible. One scientist says that the biological process which led to human life was a fluke and unlikely to ever happen again. Scientists still struggle to understand how life happened on Earth, so thinking about the possibility of it happening on multiple other planets leaves them doubtful. According to Howard Smith, a leading astrophysicist at Harvard, the extreme conditions found so far on planets discovered outside our solar system are likely to be the norm, and the hospitable conditions on Earth could be unique. We have found that most other planets and solar systems are widely different than our own. They are very hostile to life as we know it. What this means is that although there have been certain features necessary for human-like life, such as water and nitrogen found, there has yet to be a completely habitable planet found that is completely perfect for the existence of life, and the chances are unlikely. Once some scientists did more research, they found the extrasolar systems were far more diverse than they expected, and that very few could support life. A lot of the evidence that points away from the extraterrestrial life is the fact that so much of the supposed evidence for it can be easily refuted. Every supposed UFO sighting can be easily explained by something from Earth, and things like crop circles are completely man-made. UFO sightings and crop circles mysteriously popping up are some of the biggest reasons people believe in aliens. Since every instance of this recorded so far can be explained by something other than a visit from another life form, we are really left with only extraterrestrial life of the statistics and probabilities. It is clear that there is both evidence for and against life on other planets. Now, let's talk about where this theory originated and how it has evolved over time. Basically, since humans have lived on Earth, we have wondered about what it is that there is in the night sky, but lack of technology stopped us from actually exploring the sky and what lies beyond it. During the 1950s, around the dawn of the space age, We wanted to do more than just wonder about what else was out there and actually get answers. Before we could launch satellites or even astronauts into space, we started by listening for electromagnetic waves that would hopefully bring a message from our alien neighbors. The next step in our journey to exploring space was to send probes and orbiters to Mars in hopes of finding evidence of water, which is a key component of extraterrestrial life. Although we won't be finding aliens on Mars anytime soon, we did discover that conditions on Mars are inhabitable for living things such as bacteria and microorganisms. We have come a long way since our only hope of finding extraterrestrial life was tuning a radio to a frequency we thought would receive electromagnetic waves, bringing messages from beings on other planets. Scientists have recently come up with an advanced method of finding life. It is a chemistry test that uses a liquid-based technique to specifically analyze substances for amino acids, which are the structural building blocks of life on Earth. With this method, scientists can tell the difference between amino acids that come from living sources and amino acids that come from non-living sources. According to Peter Willis of Jet Propulsion Laboratory, one of NASA's highest level objectives is the search for life in the universe, and our best chance of finding life is by using powerful liquid-based analysis like this one on ocean worlds. All of this information about life beyond Earth is a lot to take in, so let's go back and recap about what we talked about. I have always been very passionate about this subject, which is why I wanted to talk about the evidence that supports extraterrestrial life and the evidence against it, and where the theory originated. There's a lot of evidence in support of life beyond Earth, mainly because of the discovery of inhabitable planets and the fact that there are so many planets and galaxies that have yet to be explored. Although there is evidence supporting the idea of life on other planets, there's also evidence and reasoning that goes against it. Most of the reasons that people wholeheartedly believe in aliens includes UFO sightings and crop circles. All of these have been explained by something other than aliens. That and the fact that a completely inhabitable planet has yet to be found lead people to believe that we may never find a life outside of Earth. Although no actual human-like life forms have been discovered yet, we have come very far in the discovery of them since we started experimenting in the 1950s. Now, many scientists believe we could just be a few decades away from making a breakthrough. Whichever side you support in the end, we have to admit that the thought of another species of human-like beings out there somewhere is pretty cool. Hopefully someday soon we can have that technology to know for sure, or maybe they will even show up on our doorstep someday unannounced.